So there are two new features in the Libby app that are similar to features that patrons miss from the Overdrive app. So I think we're going to have quite a few patrons that are pretty happy to see these changes, but they do look a little bit different, and the functionality is a little bit different between how they worked in the Overdrive app and how they'll work in the Libby app. So this is going to just walk through those two big changes. The first one is deep search. So previously in the Overdrive app, if somebody would search for a title that we didn't own, they would get this message: we couldn't find any matches to that search. Add titles the library doesn't own to your search results, and then they would see these and could recommend that title to be added to Wisconsin's digital library. That feature has not existed in the Libby app, and I know it's something that a lot of our patrons wish would be there. There is a new feature now available in Libby that patrons can already see this. So if your patron were to come in and look for something that's not already in the catalog, they now see the first new feature. It's called deep search. So if the search result would come back with 0 results or fewer than a certain number of results, it automatically defaults to this deep search, and that's going to show libraries that, or titles that our library doesn't have. If your patron has library cards with multiple libraries, for example, if they have a cabin up north and they have an IFLIS or Northern Waters card, or they work in a different county that lets them get a library card for a different system, or even out of state, if they share a library card with their family member who lives in a different state and they're both looking at things with the account. Also in this area, it would show search results for all of the libraries that they're signed into with the Libby app. Not just results from within Wisconsin's digital library, which is a new feature too, but it shouldn't affect our patrons that much. Now the second new feature is going to pop up most often in the search results, but I think our patrons are really going to appreciate it no matter where they stumble across it, and that's the notify me thing. So notify me is a smart tag. You can see we don't own the ebook or audiobook of this title, so there is a notify me tag available. You can hit this notify me here or in the little icon, the same two places. If you're trying to place a hold or borrow it, it doesn't matter which one you click, it will say notify me. This title is not in your library's catalog, so we're going to put on a notify me tag. Now you can see in the icon, the bell icon is grayed out, meaning that we've already done that. And the tag is down here where you would see if other tags were added for this title as well. So if this book, Taming the Potted Beast, is purchased in audiobook format, I will get a push notification that says a book you were interested in is now available to place a hold or to borrow. This is different than how this functionality worked in the Overdrive app. In Overdrive, patrons could recommend a title up to 5 times per month, and they would automatically then be placed on the holds list. That's not happening anymore. We're only having people join the holds list if they ask to be put on the holds list. I think both to prevent people who are not that interested but pretty casually interested in from taking up a spot on the holds list from somebody who says, this is one of my top 10 titles that I'm interested in waiting in line for. And the other reason is, with people automatically being added to the holds list, sometimes there are people who they'll put in a recommendation to purchase it here, but if they can get it faster from the physical library, that's not a concern for them. They'll read it in any format they can get. So there's no limit to how many titles a patron can ask to be notified about. In Overdrive, it was the 5 per month. Now there's no limit at all. And libraries who tested this, it's been tested for a couple of months now. It rolled out last week to patrons in Wisconsin's digital library. but the libraries who tested it said that it didn't really affect their holds lists at all. They got a lot of recommendations coming in through the Notify Me tag, but when patrons are able to put in whatever, they're catching a lot more series that people are interested in, or seeing more pre-order titles that they're able to have a better grasp on how many titles they need to borrow. So it's been an overall positive for the libraries who have tested it before. Outside of the search area, patrons will also see the Notify Me if they're seeing titles in a series that we don't own. Let me pull up so here you can see we don't own number 17 in this series. If a patron's reading this series, they can put on the Notify Me tag, and then as soon as we purchase that one in the series, they'll be able to see that